Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, educates, and empowers you through life's transitions. Each week on this show, we talk about relevant topics to your life. And man, do we have a good show for you today, because this is so relevant, so important, and so timely. So last week on the show, if you missed the episode, what I talked about was how I shared how to quit your job. And I shared my story of how I quit my corporate job and did my reinvention into what I'm doing now, which is full-time entrepreneurship as a coach, as a speaker, as a TV show host and podcaster, and as someone who is on a mission and driven to affect the lives of 1 billion people who don't know their self-love and self-worth. So then I shared exactly what I did right and exactly what I did wrong. I was completely transparent about it. And so I thought on the heels of that, what I'd like to do this week is talk about, what happens when you do quit your job or change your career and start focusing your emphasis on an entrepreneurial journey and doing something where you're loving what you do and doing what you love every day, or you're mission driven or purposefully driven. Like what happens to your life? Because I will tell you, and I'm sure my guests will tell you, that when you do make that pivot and change, you are going to work harder than you ever have in your life. You are, because it's yours. It's your baby. It's your legacy. It's the thing that you're building. Now, while you are probably working harder than you ever have before in your life, at the same time, there's peace in that, because what you're doing is you are really giving your best to you. However, you need to create balance in your life. It's very, very important that you nurture yourself, you nurture your family, your spouse, your partner, you nurture your kids, and you keep the balance going in your life, which is why today's show is titled 3 Keys to Work-Life Balance, because it's imperative that you have that. And that is something that's different for everybody. But I'm going to let my guest, Connie Benjamin, speak about that, because she's an expert in this. And I'll share her bio with you in just a few minutes. So we wanted to give you something on the heels of, all right, well, here's how you quit your job. And now here's how you create work-life balance. So one of the things I want to share is that it's important that you learn how to regain passion in your marriage. You learn how to balance all of the nuances and time constraints that come with juggling all of these things, and how to stay focused on your purpose and mission, which again, Connie and I are going to talk about, because you can easily lose sight of what your North Star is, what that goal is, when you are stuck in the day-to-day minutia of your life. So we want to make sure that we cover those with you. And Connie is going to teach you the 3 keys to juggling your work and your family simultaneously, because it's an art and it's a skill, and it can be done, and you need to do it, and it takes intention. And we are all about intention here. Speaking of intention, perfect segue. This week's intention statement is, I have today to create balance in my life. I have today to create balance in my life. So as we share with you every week, my rock star girl, Kelly, creates beautiful wallpaper that live on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. If you go there, you will see a button that says wallpaper. And every single week, whatever our intention statement is, we have the wallpaper there for you. It's kind of hard to see on the screen here, but if you go there, just screenshot it and save it. And what that allows you to do is keeps it top of mind. And when you have it top of mind, you have that top of mind awareness. So if you're looking at it all week, every time you grab your phone, which is, as we know, 150 times a day on average, you're going to see that affirmation, and it's going to start anchoring in. And that allows you to really start to make the changes and the progress, and it creates the awareness, and awareness begets change, the ABCs. So when you have that awareness, then the changes start to happen. You build that momentum, and then you start making progress in your life. And when you're making progress in your life, that little bit, like I talk about, that 1% every day, that builds to exponential growth over time, exponential growth, and over days, weeks, months, years, decades. So just kind of sort of did a squirrel moment there and got lost in that thought. So anyway, don't forget to download and screenshot your intention statements here. And one of the other things that we do is we collect intention statement videos. And we've done compilations before. And what we want from you, what I want you to do is send me your video on how you live the I Have Today way. So your intention statement starts with, I have today to, and then fill in the blank, whatever that is, and send them to us, because we are constantly making these compilation videos and we'd love to feature you. How cool would it be to have you in the compilation video and sharing your message on how you live the I Have Today way with the rest of the world? So the ticker's running by. You want to go to dianeforster.com/intention. And right there, you fill it out, give us your name, give us all your information, and download your video right there. You can just record it on your phone, easy peasy. Make it about 20 seconds or less, just because we can't have the files be too big, but let us know how you live the I Have Today way. Okay? All right. Thanks. So before I bring on Connie, I do want to share something that's going on here with us. We've been working so hard, so diligently with our upcoming event, the Have It All Life live virtual event. It's August 28th through August 30th. So it is literally around the corner. I can't even tell you all the pieces we're putting together, all the surprises and the magic that we have going on. But this is an event for ladies only. Sorry, guys. This one's just for women, where I'm going to take you for 3 days and completely give you the 8-step blueprint on how you can get everything you want. And that is a really bold statement, isn't it? I can tell you this. I have been doing mindset work for years. I have been coaching hundreds and hundreds of clients. I know that the number one thing that is blocking you from getting you what you want is you. It's you, and it's in your mindset, and it's in your limiting beliefs. And when you discover what they are, and then you take the time to get really crystal clear on what it is you want, man, the universe goes out of its way to bring it to you. It literally drops in your lap. So what we're going to do over these 3 days is we're going to get you focused and clear on the 8 key areas of your life, where you are, where you want to be in the next 1 to 3 years. And then I'm going to teach you the 8 principles on how to get it. And the formula works for everyone, works for everything. It doesn't matter what it is. But I've got amazing speakers coming. You're getting this awesome swag box that's coming to your home to set you up for success for the event prior to it. But you've got to get in right now, because early bird prices are ending. I want to say midnight tomorrow. I can't keep track of the days. There's so much going on. But seriously, get in there right away. And Kelly's going to put up the link right now. It's myhaveitalllife.com/experience 2020. Now, here's the thing. This is why this is so urgent. This is why this is a one-of-a-kind event. This is why this is a one-time only opportunity, because I took a look at what was happening out there, and these are unprecedented times. We will not go back to a normal. It's going to look very, very differently. And what I see over and over again, I've been coaching people. I've been doing a lot of interviews. I've been surveying. A lot of people are feeling unmotivated. They're waiting for the vaccine or the solution or the certainty. It's not coming. You have to take back your power. This is the time to pivot and change what's not working in your life and enhance what is working. And if you feel like I'm pushing you on this and I'm speaking strongly, I am. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is a critical time in history. There has never been a time like this. The world as we knew it is done. It's done. It's all changing. And so we, the people, You, the person, you, the commander of your life, have to take back your power. You've got to do the work inside. And man, I know it. It's uncomfortable. Like hearing that goes, yes, this is another personal development event. I've been there. This is different than you've ever experienced before because I am a person who sees gaps, solutions, and opportunities. I know this. I see this. I invented a kitchen product that didn't exist in the world. You know what? And I can see the opportunity for you. And if we don't take a look at these things, at the gaps, solutions, and opportunities for you to take a look at what matters most to you, and I know Kelly's looking at me like I'm really going on a rampage here, but I can't emphasize this enough to you. You've got to get uncomfortable and take this step. I don't care what's going on in your calendar, clear it. If you can move it, you have to move it. Do this work. Do this deep dive because you will never get this chance again to do this the way I'm doing this with you. And the last thing I want for you is regret. Do not do this. Do not waste another day because you don't have a moment to waste. You don't have a day to waste. And what's going to happen for you is you're going to leave this 3-day event literally holding the blueprint for your life. You will know exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it to make the changes you need to make to get exactly what you want. And I'm bridging the gap between the physical, tactical strategies and the metaphysical, the law of attraction, and using universal pull and the universal laws to bring these two things together because you can't do it without them both. You need the physical and the metaphysical together. That's how things happen quickly. That's how you start manifesting things faster. And you got to get out of your own way. And where it all stems is mindset. So without me going on any more of a soapbox here, clearly I'm passionate about this and I am going to show up for you like, man, 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% for you. Show up for yourself. Don't be one of those people that hems and haws. When you do that, you are stopping your success. You are letting procrastination get in the way of your goals, dreams, and desires. So click on the link, get in now, and I will see you at the event, okay? All right. So with that said, we're going to move on to our sponsor, which is the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Hey, Connie, how are you?
Hey, Diane, I am great. I was listening to you speak and I was riveted, so I am on fire.
Oh, well, it's so good to see you. I just want to give a shout out quickly because I just saw Elaine come in with a comment. Hi, Elaine. How are you? I love and miss you so much. And girl, you need to come to the event. You are amazing and have helped me so much. Lots of major changes in my life lately. I love to hear that. She's a former client and, and a forever friend. So, well, thank you for that. And I am so excited to spend this time with you because I love the work that you're doing, Connie. Let me just give the audience a little background. Connie and I connected and instantly it was like, oh, wow, I need to know you and you need to know me and we need to collaborate and support and lift each other up in this world because we both serve women. And there's so much symmetry in what we're doing. Oh, Kelly. Oh, there she goes. Kelly. Okay. So let's be transparent. Kelly's computer's going down. So, and she's the hub. She's hosting this. So if she goes down, we're out. It's lights out. So she's signing on her phone. So anyway, if you see a little glitch, that's what it is. And you know what? This is live TV and stuff happens. Anyway, there was so much symmetry in what we're doing. And I said, well, I've got to have you on my show. And you said, well, I've got to have you on my show. So last week, I had the pleasure of being on Connie's show. Tell them the name of your podcast.
My Fire Within Radio. And that interview, Diane, was out of this world. It was so good.
Well, thank you so much. And I know this one today is going to be off the charts too, because this is something that's so needed right now. The work-life balance, the juggling, the work and family is so important right now. So, even before COVID and everything that we're doing, this pandemic and being in isolation, that's been a challenge. But especially right now, and I know you're going to have words of wisdom. So I want to get right to it. First, let me read a little bit about Connie. Connie Benjamin is the #1 international best-selling author of the book Women with Fire, international speaker and podcast host of My Fire Within Radio. After nearly losing her marriage and almost giving up on the entrepreneurial journey, she and her husband, Andy, began a quest to live their mission without losing their family. They developed the My Fire Within system that helped them to fall in love again, replace their day job income, and love being stay-at-home parents with their 3 daughters. Using her proprietary My Fire Within system, they are now on a mission to empower other entrepreneurs who have lost passion for their purpose within their relationships and business to relight their fire within themselves, their marriage, and their business connections. Their mission is to empower entrepreneurs to fulfill their divine purpose so they can uplift their family and humanity through socially responsible business. I love that mission. I love that you're in it together and you're doing it together. And I love that you instead of blowing it up, you went, stop, take a break. Let's reevaluate this and let's look at this. And you turned it into a system and a brand. It's amazing. And you're helping so many other people. So I love that. I love that so much. So tell us with a little more detail about what you do, exactly what you and Andy do in the business.
Absolutely. Diane, I'd love to dive in that. Would you mind if I share a little bit about my story before I get there so you have a sense of where I came from and how crazy things were? Okay. So basically it started with, I was working in a corporate job and I loved it. I loved what I did because I loved helping people, but I was wanting to be home with my little girl, Diane. Like I just wanted to be home with my sweet little girl. And so I'd drive in the car and I'd be going to work every day and I'd be crying and I'd get into work and I'd clean myself up and pretend that I wasn't crying the entire time. And on top of that, we were living in an area of town that was unsafe. And so we had to move and we had to create a business to do that. But I knew nothing about business. And I started to learn some things and got some success. And I remember one day when I got enough money to move, and I remember going into our new home and we opened the door and my little girl went skipping across the kitchen and out into the backyard and there were trees everywhere. And Diane, I felt like I did it. I won. I did what I was supposed to do. I was on top of the world. But what I didn't realize is I was about to lose what matters most. And this is why Andy and I do what we do. And this is the heart of it. Because there was one day when I was in my office, I was late for an interview. I had a million things on my to-do list. I was so stressed out. I don't know if you've ever been so stressed out you can't think clearly, but that's where I was at. And in a moment of complete desperation and overwhelm, I actually picked up a glass and I threw it at the wall. And I remember looking down around me and seeing pieces of shattered glass all around me. And Diane, I realized that that's how I felt, broken and unwhole and just shattered. And it was that moment that I said to myself, Connie, you will not lose yourself or your family on this journey. And so that's really what started everything for Andy and I to figure it out. How do we go after when we feel called to fulfill a mission and a purpose in this life? How do we do that in a way that we don't lose each other, we don't lose ourselves, and we don't lose our kids? So that's why I started it. What we do, well, for the last decade, we've been really supporting entrepreneurs with how do you, when you lose passion for your purpose, because it's going to come up, just like you talked about, life gets crazy. When you are on a purpose-driven mission, man, you work so much harder than you would in any other capacity, like you talked about. And so you go for that, you're all in, which is awesome, so awesome in the business context. But what happens when we lose that passion in our marriage? Or we lose that passion and we forget why we're doing the work. We're working so hard, grinding so hard, and we forget it. That's why we support entrepreneurs with how to regain that passion, not just for their work, but for their family, for the people that they love the most. And so that's what we've been doing for the last, decade or so. And really, we do it through the My Fire Within system, which is all about it's 3 components. So it's easy to remember. It's about light yourself. Light your relationship, specifically your marriage, if you're in a marriage. And if you're not, this will help you when you do get in a relationship. It's going to rock your relationship either way. And then light your influence through your business connections. And the cool thing is it all starts there with the fire connection.
Wait, say them again. Light your what?
Light yourself. Because everything starts with you, right? Light yourself, which I know you are the master at supporting people with doing. And your event is going to be absolutely game-changing with that. So light yourself, light your marriage. And if you're not in a marriage, it's going to help you when you do meet that amazing person to rock that relationship. And then light your influence through your business connections. And the cool thing that we found is that oftentimes what happens is when we're on this entrepreneurial journey, we'll think, okay, we've got to deal with those 3 things in 3 separate ways. And in reality, what happens is when we get lit up with what we call the fire connection, it lights up all of those areas at once. It's insanely incredible.
I love that. Can you elaborate? What is the fire connection?
Yeah, totally. I love talking about the fire connection. Absolutely. So the fire connection is really like this. It's a triangle. And if you think about it in that way, that's going to help conceptualize what we're talking about. So the top of the triangle is the creator. It's that relationship to the divine. It's your highest self. This part of the triangle is about yourself. It's who you are, how are you showing up in your life, in your connections with others. And the other point of that triangle is really who you're trying to connect with. When we talk about light yourself, that's your highest self or your purpose. How are you connecting with that divine purpose that you've been called to do? When it's your relationship with your partner, that's what it is. It's just a relationship with your partner. And if it's your business connections, it's those business connections. How do you use the divine in your conversations to have what we call the fire connection that changes everything?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, that's really, really powerful. And it really starts with self. This has been interesting for me right now, planning this event and, and having to be able to pull it back to me. Right. So I'm focused on all the details for the attendees, putting it out there. And through that, sometimes forget, wait, why am I doing all of this? What, and reconnecting back to my higher self has been really, really good in so many ways, because that's what it's all about. Like, we are purpose driven, but we have to be whole and complete and balanced ourselves in order to be able to give all of that. And it does take being connected to the divine, whatever that is for you, God, spirit, universe, whatever that is. Okay, I love that. So what I want you to share with us is, please share the 3 keys to juggling work and family, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. And I love what you talked about, Diane. It's so true. It really does start with us. So the 3 keys to juggling work and family and getting that work-life balance, that's this elusive thing that we're all chasing, right? The first key is, now this is might blow your mind here, but I'm just going to call it like it is. The first thing is we need to throw out the definition of balance that we've accepted to this point. It's an illusion. We need to create something new. So when you talked about, there's so much going on in the world today, and there's a global shift, this incredible shift in consciousness that's happening. And part of stepping into that is this idea of balance. If you look up the definition of balance, it talks about a proportionate, things are equally proportionate between some things. Now, how is that physically possible when you're going for a mission? You're purpose-driven entrepreneur. You're going off after that mission. We do not have enough time in the day to spend, however much time you spend in your business. Let's say it's 9 hours, although we all know as an entrepreneur, it's usually more than that. So in our business, and then 9 hours with your partner, and 9 hours in self-care, and 9 hours with your kids. That is not humanly possible. There's not that much time in the day. So we have to throw out that old perception of what balance could be. And we need to step into a new definition of balance, which is what I'd love to talk about today. So that's the first step.
Yeah.
First step is the traditional form of balance is an illusion.
Okay. What's the second?
Okay, I love it. Number 2 is it's all about the fire connection. It's all about the fire connection. Now, the reason that I say that is because the fire connection is, when you think about the traditional form of balance or definition of balance, we would think, okay, if I want to connect in my business and I want to connect with my partner, I need to have an equal amount of time, or at least it's all about time. It's not about time.
Yes.
It's about connection. And here's the perfect example. You're with a person that you love. Maybe it's your significant other, maybe it's your partner, whatever that is. And in a moment, you feel totally connected. You feel like they've got you. They've got your back. They understand you. They would do anything for you. Those shifts can happen in a moment. And let's contrast that in just a minute. Think about the busy entrepreneur that thinks, okay, to have work-life balance, I need to have a vacation. So I finally blocked off some time in my vacation. And you go for that vacation and you fight with your partner the entire time. And by the way, there's statistics about that, which blows my mind. It's not about time. It's about connection. It's about the fire connection.
I love that. That's so powerful, right? Here's the thing about that. We make these plans because you want some end result, a desired outcome from that. You're planning this trip so that you can connect and, spend time together. And it's putting off your future happiness instead of making that connection. Like you just said, it can happen in a moment, in a minute, an embrace, a kiss, a hug, a cuddle, something like that. Has so much more meaning than planning all that, because you have these unrealistic expectations of what's supposed to transpire there. And when you have those unrealistic expectations, 100% of the time, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be disappointed. So I love that. Okay. So what's key number 3?
Now, number 3 is fuel the fire. So I'm a systems girl. I don't mess around. I love systems. It has to take me from point A to point B or it drives me nuts. So there are specific things that we can do to fuel the fire, to fuel that fire connection. And I'd love to share with you one of those things today. I know there's multiple, but one I'd love for your amazing audience to experience today and to hear about. That's number 3, fuel the fire.
Fuel the fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So you shared some of the challenges. What do you have to say to people who are currently going through what we're going through, experiencing right now? How are you managing your life, your work and your family during this time? Because how many children do you have? You have 3?
I have 3 kids. Yep.
Yes. And how old are your kids?
So I've got a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I know how crazy it is juggling a business with kiddos.
Yes. Yeah. So what advice do you have about, I want to talk about your book too, but right now, today, what is the best piece of advice or tip that you found is working during all of this? You know what I mean? So because it's a different world, and the kids aren't going back to school, or maybe they are by you, I don't know, but education is different, lifestyle is different, time management is different, the capacity of people at home is different. What's one tip that you can give parents of children right now who are entrepreneurs or working professionals? Keeping this in balance.
I love that question so much, Diane, because I think it is such a powerful conversation. There, right now, we are juggling more than we've ever had before. And as you talked about, because we've got people working from home that have never worked from home before. We've got people juggling kids, and often couples as well. If couples are working from home, often they're working from home in the same space as well. So we have that conflict that can potentially happen too. So there's definitely something that has made a huge difference in my life. It has saved my marriage, saved my sanity as a mom, and really saved me personally. So I'm so excited to share it with you today. It's called the FIRE priorities. And this is one aspect of fuel the fire, right? This is one thing we can do, a system we can use to fuel the fire. When implemented correctly, it's going to help you have more energy, be connected with the people that you love, and to be able to be really clear about what's important in your life. So it's so simple. It's actually an acronym because I believe that helps us remember easily. So the F, yeah, right. I love acronyms. Okay. So the F in FIRE priorities stands for first creator. Now, are you noticing a pattern as you listen to this? Pay attention to the FIRE connection we're building in the system, right? So the F stands for first creator. And really what that means is, are you connecting with the divine first thing? Whether that means prayer, whether that means meditation, yoga, asking the divine, whatever that means to you, connect with that higher power first. Because I don't know about you, but I can't do this life alone, especially with what's happening in the world. We need to be strengthened by something bigger than ourselves.
Yes. Okay? I totally agree. I start every day with meditation and journaling. I tap into that and journal about it, be very intentional about what I want to transpire, very much ask for help. That's such a valid point. If you're not praying and meditating, you're missing out on all the resources that are available to help you and assist you on this journey, because you are not alone. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So what's the I?
So the I stands for inspired self-care. And I use my wording very intentionally because I'm not talking about the kind of self-care we see in the movies with those cucumber things on our eyeballs. I really don't know anyone that does that. I'm talking about the kind of self-care that fuels your soul, the kind of self-care that helps you remember who you are, why you started this mission, what purpose you're going towards. Things like yoga, meditation, exercise, journaling, all of those things fuels you up. So that's inspired self-care.
I love that. And the R?
The R stands for relationship with your partner. And I know this sounds simple, but do you know how many couples I have talked to over the last decade that do not have this in place? And I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest things that will save your marriage or your relationship. So that true connection with your partner. Now, oftentimes when I share this with people, they say, I don't have time. I don't have much time, Connie. Are you kidding me? You're giving me one more thing to do. This really doesn't need to take a long time. It really can take 5 minutes. And in a moment, I can tell you a story about what that can look like. The E, makes sense? Okay. So the E in FIRE priority stands for engage kids. Now, again, I use my word intentionally. Engage means let's be present with our kids. They don't need a long period of time. I think often as parents, we're overloaded with guilt because we think we need to have magical unicorns and 4-hour blocks taking them to the park or the amusement park. They don't need that. They need our presence. They need our engagement. And it can take in just a moment, we can hit their hearts.
Yeah, I love that. I spoke at an event recently, and it was for a group of women professionals in the financial industry. And the leader of the group said, God, I feel so bad, sitting on the couch watching something with my grandson, my beautiful grandson, because in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking it's racing like, oh, I really should be writing that blog, or the shoulda, woulda, should be doing things was running through her mind, and she, couldn't be present. And I said, what if you just said to yourself in that moment, I am going to block off from 4 to 5 today. I'm going to write that blog then, and just put it out of your mind. Know you're going to block that time off so that you could sit and be present and enjoy that moment with your beautiful grandson. You know, it is easy when you look at it the way you're looking at it and you lay it out and you have systems and you understand, well, this is the priority. This is the way it is. And, you know, and I'm a 3-step person too, for the same 3 steps, easy to remember, easy to implement, easy to build on. And I love everything that you're saying. And the true ultimate top of the pyramid of the triangle is that connection to source and your higher self and the divine first, and putting those processes and systems in place is going to really create this balance in your life. So fabulous. I love everything that you're doing, Connie. Really special. Can I ask you, how do you live the I have today way?
Oh, I love that way so much. I honestly, one of the ways that I do that is through fire priorities, because when I remember that I just have today, there's no certainty about what's going to happen in this life. And if anything, with what's been happening in this world today, we've needed to step into and embrace that we just have today. Your movement is so powerful because there's so much uncertainty, but we have certainty in the now, in the present. And so one of the ways that I do that is I make sure that I do have those fire priorities in place, because at the end of the day, if something were to happen to me, well, at some point it will. At some point I won't be here. I need my kids to know that I love them. I need my partner to know that I love them. I need both of them to know that they have a divine purpose and there's something bigger than them for them to do in this life. And I need the people that I serve to understand that they're being called towards greatness, and they do not need to choose between their family and their purpose. And that how I align to that is really stepping into that fire connection. And one way I do it is through fire priorities.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Your work is extraordinary, you know, and you are systems and details for sure. I love that. You know, when we had our first conversation, it was so great. You were so spot on. You know, we talked about, you know, who we can connect with, what can we do? And immediately you went into action. And there's power in that, you know, when you're able to do that. And then after our interview, I loved you know, how humble you were. And you said, you know, can we do a debrief, and can you tell me what I could do better? So you are in this, you know, place of service constantly. You can tell you're really, really living authentically in your vision and your mission and your purpose, truly to serve, because your cup is so full. That's what happens when your cup is so full, or your fire's lit within, you know, whatever the analogy we want to use. How much more do you have to give the rest of the world? And I talk about this a lot too, that, you know, being selfish in a really good way is really the way. It's the way to anything and everything that you want. And you're a living testament to that. Okay. So will you share with us how, you know, I know that you have a free gift with the audience. Please tell us about that and tell them how they can find out more about you and keep in touch with you.
That sounds amazing. And thank you for your generous words. I'm so grateful for that. So I do have, when all of this happened, everything was going on with this global situation, my first thought was, I can't do this alone. I am gathering together my team of amazing people. And so I gathered together 30 world leaders, and I asked them, what would you do? How would you deal with what's happening and grow your business and not lose your family? What does this look like? And so I interviewed them. So I do have a free event that you can hop on, get a free ticket for that. You just go to www.myfirewithin.com/mompreneur. And so that it really is a lot of interviews about how do we juggle family and work at the same time. And in terms of connecting with me, I'm across all social platforms. I'd love to connect with you over Facebook, or you can email me at connie@myfirewithin.com. I truly love hearing what your lesson was and what I can do to support you.
That's so beautiful. Well, I know this is just the beginning for us. We're going to be forever friends and forever connected and journey together. And I love everything that you're doing. Light some points that Connie made. So light yourself, light your marriage, light your influence through business connections. And the fire priorities is first, creator, inspired self-care, relationship with your partner, and engage kids. Very, very powerful. So, and the 3 keys again, say them again.
So the 3 keys.
Did I just say them?
No, you're good. The first one of the 3 keys to having that work-life balance. Key number 1 is the current definition of balance is an illusion. We need to let go of that. Number 2, it's all about the fire connection.
Fire connection.
And number 3, fuel the fire.
Love it. Love it all. So, all right. Well, be sure to get Connie's gift. We have the ticker going for that. We will have the information in the description area so you can find out how to connect with her and get her amazing gift, which again is called myfirewithin.com/mompreneur. And it's an online event, free gift. And Connie at, what did you say the email? My Fire Within.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. Connie at My Fire Within. Thank you so much for sharing your space and your heart and your brilliance with us here at I Have Today. I want to let everyone know, I know that I'll be speaking with you soon, and I hope the audience got a lot of value out of it as much as I did, because it was amazing. So, all right. Okay, Connie. Well, we will see you soon. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Diane.
Okay, and now we're going to pivot and we're going to go to the Mentor Me Minute segment. See you in a Okay, wasn't she amazing? I just love her. I love her energy. I love her passion. I love how committed she is. I love how organized she is. She's a freaking rock star. Love her. Okay, here we go with the Mentor Me Minute segment. This is something that we do every week. You can either leave a question in the chat box here on Facebook. If you're watching, whatever is going on with you, put it in right now so that hopefully we have time. I know we have a couple of questions in the queue because we also get them emailed to us at info@dianeforster.com. So if you're watching this on a replay instead of here live and you do have a question, you need mentoring, info@dianeforster. You can send it there. All right, let's see the first question for today. What advice do you have for me managing homeschooling my kids? Yeah, we saw this question come in a couple weeks ago and we said, oh, let's save this for the show with Connie because it's all about work-life balance. So the advice I have for you about managing homeschooling with your kids is, really get organized. Now, what I want to say from an emotional standpoint is, don't feel like your kids are missing out because things are different. Your kids are going to get the information that they need, okay? While we're going through this whole evolution right now, what's going to ultimately happen is the education system is going to change too. So as long as there's connection and community and enhanced opportunity, so they're able to learn more and experience more, but they're able to connect with other kids in the class, things like that. And it's only for a short window of time during the day where normally they would be out of the house the entire day. Don't feel like they're missing out. That's something that I know that I've heard a lot, that parents are feeling like, God, they seem to be wasting their time. They're not. Where education got to was so incredibly stressful for kids. I know my 23-year-old twins, when they were going to school, starting in junior high school all the way through high school, they were booked all day. They'd leave the house really early in the morning, by like 7 o'clock in the morning. And some nights they didn't get home till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. That is too much stress on our children. So don't feel like that is an issue right now. If they're getting under your skin, you just set up healthy boundaries with them. You know what I mean? This isn't going away. It's not going away. And this is the new normal. And so now we have to get to a place where we can manage this. So managing the whole schooling quickly, I know I'm going over a minute, I always do, is set up a place, a school area, whatever, a learning station, an environment that's an educational environment. How's that? This is the educational environment. So that is a place where they can go and they can do the work that they need to do, focused and uninterrupted. Okay. You need the same thing for you. If you are a working parent, if you are an entrepreneur, that you need to have that same time too. And there's got to be a workaround. So get the family together collectively and discuss these windows of time. Take deep breaths through it. Know you're going to be okay. Don't worry that they're missing out on anything. They're going to be fine. They're absolutely going to be fine. If you focus on fear, scarcity, fear of missing out, lack, you're going to create more of that. You're going to manifest more of it. So figure out a way and look for what's right and create the space to make that manageable, that homeschooling manageable. Okay? Okay. Next question, please. Okay. This is Lisa in Missouri. My husband and I both lost our jobs. How do we start over? Oh my gosh. I just coached somebody about this. Listen, this is a blessing. Look for the gift. Please look for the gift. If you lost your jobs, and I know you're worried about money, here's the thing. I said this, I think last week or the week before. All the money in the world that exists still exists. It's still available for you. Now is a time to get together collectively to support one another and say, I want to be there for you. And the other partner says, I want to be there for you. We're going to support each other, love each other, lift each other up in whatever it is. And perhaps there's an opportunity like Connie and her husband, Andy, that we just had on the show, for you to create a business within that serves a purpose, that feeds your soul, that fuels a mission, that lights your fire and lifts you up. This is the perfect opportunity to do this, because you can, Steve Olsher said, you can spend time being busy looking down to pick up pennies as you're missing the opportunity to step over dollars. You know what I mean? So don't focus on the scarcity and the tightness of this. You've got an unlimited universe, an abundant, unlimited universe with opportunities to create anything you want. And I do this for people every single day. So Lisa, if you can come to the event, come to the event. You'll get so many ahas. I've said this before, that 1 in 5 searches on Google every single day are brand new search terms. And you know what that translates to? 1.1 billion new problems every single day that are seeking solutions. There's unlimited opportunity out there. So what would you want your life to look like? You two together. How much money do you want to make? How do you want to spend your days? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Spend this time going within to do that. Now, last, on the practical side, ask for help. If you are struggling, ask for help. People want to help. People are willing to help. There is no shame in that. There's only pride in that. So many people are going through this right now. So don't be prideful. Ask for help if you need help. All right. I hope that helped you. Okay. All right. Another show whizzing by. It's so amazing. So what I want to do right now is do the mantra meditation with you. And I do this every week, where I just tap in to everything that we talked about today and really anchor it in for you, so that you leave this show feeling the transformation, feeling the shift, feeling better, feeling more inspired, feeling empowered, feeling like you want to take action today. Okay. And even if that's only one little thing that you do, that inspired action creates progress. And when you move in progress, you create change. So what we're going to do right now is what I do every week with you. We're just going to sit and relax, sit with your legs straight, legs uncrossed, feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap, palms facing down, or you can turn them up if you feel like you need more energy. And you're going to close your eyes, and then we're going to take in 2 deep breaths. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4. We're going to hold it for the count of 4, and then we're going to breathe it out for the count of 8, like you're blowing out birthday candles on a birthday cake. So get all that air out and that deflated balloon feeling inside, and we're going to do it 2 times because it feels really, really good. And then just keep your eyes closed and listen to the words as I guide you, okay? Here we go. You ready? All right. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 4. And breathe out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to create work-life balance in my life. I have today to create balance in every area of my life. I understand the power of connecting to the divine, to my higher self, to something that's so much bigger than I am, to keep my focus and attention on what's at the higher level of vibration and frequency, and not to be mired down in low vibrating frequency. I know when I focus up, tap into the universal forces, the divine, God, whatever I believe in, I feel the love and support that surrounds me. It's everywhere, and it fills my cup. I know that I'm okay. I know that there's nothing that I need to worry about or fear. I know that I'm always one breath away from feeling better. I know, like Connie taught us, that I can tap to the fire within me and expand that into my love life, into my relationships, into my children, into my business, into my partnerships, my connections, in every area of my life. It fuels me, it feeds my soul. And when I do this, not if I do this, that I am able to serve and live my life in a much more extraordinary way. I don't focus on the tiny little scarcity mind details of my life. I live my life in balance and focus through connections, and know that a connection can be a moment, it can be a minute, it can be an hour, it can be an evening. It's not defined by quantity of time that was limited belief thinking of what work-life balance used to be. As Connie taught us, we are throwing that out. We don't need that. Miracles happen every single moment if we're tapped into them. So on this day and each day forward in my life, I will stay connected to that. I will tap into the fire. I will live my life in balance because I know I'm the one who creates the power. I can live my life any way I want, and I choose to live it the I Have Today way, intentionally empowered and focused on my goals, dreams, and desires. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can open your eyes. God, I hope you felt that, because I sure felt it. My heart is like, whew, so full and warm right now. Definitely feel the connection. And that's the purpose of these, to really, have that transformation happen for you, have the shift happen for you. Now, pay attention. We start every mantra meditation with, I have today to, love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. That's intentional, because pay attention to those miracles. Pay attention to what shows up for you today and shifts for you today. Live empowered. And before I sign off today, let me just emphasize and encourage you and implore you to please register for the Have It All Life live virtual experience, because this truly is going to empower you in ways you can't even imagine. It's going to shift you and heal you on a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level. And you are going to get the clarity, focus, and direction you need to create whatever that Have It All life is for you. And the point is, you don't have to have all the answers just yet. That's what you're going to figure out during the event. And then you're going to get the blueprint and the path on how to get it. And so click on the link to learn more. Get in while you can. It's next weekend, for crying out loud. Not this weekend, the next weekend. So it's right upon us. And get in right away. Don't forget your shipping address so that we can get your swag box to you, because you are going to want all those yummy goodies to help you throughout the entire event. And I'm bringing it for you. As you know, love it, thank it, bring it. I'm bringing it for you. So you bring it for you and you show up. I want to thank Connie for being on the show. Connie Benjamin, she was extraordinary today. And her My Fire Within radio show, you can learn more about her. You can email her and download her training. We've got all the links available to you. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I have Today with Diane Forster on YouTube and Facebook, and our show at E360 TV, Diane Forster Official on all other social media, and my website, dianeforster.com. That's it for this week's episode. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.